floated in from the sanctuary. A little flutter of excitement gnawed at Laurie's insides as her friends left the room, lined up in the chapel's small vestibule, and one by one made their way down the aisle. She took Dad's arm and looked up at him. He smiled and winked. "I love you, Princess," he said. "I love you too," she murmured, as the music changed from the Bach to Pachelbel's Canon in D. She'd had a huge argument with Mom about this music choice. Mom wanted the traditional bridal chorus from Wagner's opera Lohengrin. But Laurie was a bit of an opera buff, and in her estimation, the wedding in Lohengrin wasn't one she wanted to emulate, since the bride ends up dead at the end of the opera. So, no bridal chorus for her. She regarded it as bad luck. Without the opening fanfare of "Here Comes the Bride" to signal her arrival, the wedding guests didn't rise to their feet very quickly. But they did eventually get the message. She gripped Dad's arm and looked ahead to where Brandon waited, dressed in a dark gray suit with his curly, almost black hair falling over his forehead. He aimed his big blue eyes at her, and her heart beat a little faster. They'd known each other for 10 years, since freshman year at George Washington University. They had hooked up a time or two in college, but not seriously until 5 years ago. Brandon was the love of a lifetime, the only man she'd ever slept with. Her heart swelled in her chest as she arrived at the altar without tripping on the train of her dress. Thank God, she could check that worry off her list of possible disasters. She looked up into Brandon's eyes. She'd imagined this moment thousands of times. His eyes would sparkle, maybe with unshed tears of joy. His mouth would curl at the corner and expose his adorable dimple. He'd wink. Wait. She'd never imagined him frowning at her. What? Did he hate her dress? Was it too princessy? Oh, she knew it. She should have gone with the mermaid dress, even though Mom hated it. Crap. The moment was spoiled forever. The minister interrupted her inner rant. "Dearly beloved, we have come together in the presence of God to witness and bless the joining together of—" "Wait," Brandon said. "What?" The minister laid his finger down to mark his place in the Book of Common Prayer. Then he looked up at Brandon over the rims of his half-glasses. The bodice of Laurie's dress chose that moment to become a tourniquet, shutting off her air supply. "What on earth are you doing?" In the front pew, Brandon's father stood up with a thunderous look on his face. Brandon ignored his dad. He kept staring at Laurie with panic in his eyes. Laurie, how dare you?" This came from Mom in the pew on the opposite side. Like Brandon, Laurie tried to ignore her mother while simultaneously trying to breathe. "I can't," Brandon said. "You can't or you don't want to?" Roxy asked. "Because, baby bro, there is a big difference." Well, both of those, actually." "What?" Laurie finally managed to push out the word and suck in a gulp of air. Brandon took her by the hand, and the touch sent ice up her arm. She wanted to pull away from him, but she was frozen in place. "Look, Laurie, you're more or less the only girl I ever dated." "So?" someone asked. Laurie wasn't sure, but it sounded like Andrew Lyndon, the best man. "I just don't think either of us is ready for this. I mean, we don't have enough experience." "What?" That was definitely Mom's voice. "You're 28 years old, for goodness sake, you're not a couple of teenagers." "Is there someone else?" Laurie could only whisper the words as the foundation of her world crumbled beneath her. Brandon's eyes widened. "No, never. I swear, Laurie, I have never cheated on you. But I think we got on the wedding carousel and—" He stabbed a hand through his hair. "Shit," he said under his breath as he turned away. "If there's no one else, then—" "I just want a break, okay? Like 6 months. You know, like a trial separation." "For crap's sake, how can you have a separation if you're not even married?" Dad asked in a tense voice. Laurie glanced at Dad.